the Armadillo. The cheapest outfit you can buy in RDR2. And honestly, this thing looks like Arthur just walked out of a saloon after losing every hand of poker and said, "Yep, this'll do." For only 57 bucks and a quarter, you can pick this up in good old Armadillo. Now, what do you actually get? You've got this dark brown coat that looks like it hasn't seen a wash since the Civil War. Underneath, a plain gray shirt, which literally means I woke up late and didn't care. Black pants, black boots, safe choices. And then the hat. Black, wide-brimmed, with just enough curve to say, I might rob you, but only if I feel like it. It's not flashy, but it's a dress somehow Rockstar added for which purpose, we don't know. But the gun belt is perfectly positioned for when someone accuses you of cheating at dominoes. The Dolton.
Something you're interested in?
Price tag, $61.75. Location, the fine town of Strawberry. Yeah, nothing says fashion hub quite like a place named after fruit. So what's in the box? You get this maroonish shirt that looks like your grandma knitted it and said, "Don't worry, honey, it'll shrink in the wash." Strapped on top, you've got suspenders, because apparently belts were just too mainstream in the 1800s. Then we slide down to the pants. Checkered blue-gray trousers that scream, I'm either about to milk a cow or get into a bar fight. Tucked into tall black boots that are clearly made for stomping out rattlesnakes, or your dignity, whichever comes first. And of course, we can't forget the classic black cowboy hat, because no matter what you wear in this game, the hat has to make you look at least 20% more dangerous. Overall, the Dolton is a step up in price, but still looks like Arthur's just cosplaying as casual lumberjack who got lost in town. The Estate Boss. Price tag, $62.25. You can grab it over at Wallace Station. And honestly, the name alone makes it sound like Arthur just got promoted from saloon drifter to guy who owns way too many cows. So what's the fit? You've got a dark green shirt that says, I work hard, but I also know where the silverware goes at dinner. On top of that, a brown checkered vest buttoned up real tight because apparently belts weren't enough, we had to secure the chest too. The pants are plain gray, nice and tidy, tucked into polished brown boots. Boots so clean it's almost suspicious, like Arthur's definitely not the one shoveling manure on the ranch. Overall, the estate boss gives off pure, respectable, man of the West vibe. The ranch hand. It'll run you $65.75 and you can scoop it up down in Armadillo, which, fittingly, is about the dustiest place on the map. So yeah, at least the outfit blends in. So what do you get for your money? A plain light gray shirt buttoned all the way up like Arthur's about to teach Sunday school. Dark suspenders hanging tight because clearly belts were illegal back in the day. Then we slide down to the pants. Brown, worn in, with a patch on the knee. Yeah, this outfit straight up comes with poverty included. It's like Rockstar said, here's your starter pack, peasant. Go shovel some horse manure. Black boots strapped up with spurs finish the look, and then there's the wide-brimmed tan hat. Not outlaw, not fancy, just I've been out in the sun too long, but the cows won't milk themselves. All in all, the ranch hand is exactly what the name says. You don't look rich, you don't look dangerous, you look like the guy who fixes the fence when it breaks. The scrapper. Again, you can only snag this one in Armadillo, but you'll need to be sitting pretty at honor rank 6. So yeah, no hog-tying preachers or kicking dogs if you want this look. Now, let's talk drip. The first thing that pops out? That dusty gray coat. It's wide, rugged, and looks like it survived at least 5 bar brawls and maybe 1 divorce. Underneath, you've got a plain, rusty brown shirt, like Arthur just spilled chili on it and called it fashion. Black pants, scuffed up and dirty. The Bulldogger. This outfit looks like Arthur is about to give a lecture on how to win a bar fight in 3 easy steps. Price, $79.50. Location, Armadillo, and you'll need at least honor rank 3 to wear it, so behave yourself. The vest is the star here. Blue pinstripe, buttoned up nice and snug, like Arthur just got hired as the assistant manager of a saloon. Underneath, a deep maroon shirt that says, I'm classy, but I'll still spit in the spittoon. Black pants and boots keep things grounded. And then there are the gloves. Yeah, full-on gray gloves, making Arthur look like he's either about to wrangle cattle or do open-heart surgery in the Wild West. The hat? Classic. Sharp-brimmed, outlaw approved. It completes the vibe, like Arthur's ready to either rob a train or collect your rent money. All in all, it's cleaner, sharper, but it still has that rough edge. Basically, this outfit says, I'm dangerous, but I also know how to set a dinner table. The Calumet. This thing looks like Arthur just got promoted to local bank teller who secretly robs his own bank. Anyway, let's talk about the fit. That faded blue-gray coat is giving major hand-me-down from your older cousin vibes. Underneath, you've got a striped shirt buttoned all the way up. Arthur's trying real hard to look respectable, but we all know he's about 3 shots of whiskey away from falling off his horse. The pants? Dark, a little worn, tucked into gray boots. And topping it all off, literally the hat. Wide brim, tan, and tilted just enough to whisper, yeah, I've got debt collectors on my tail. Overall, the Calumet looks clean, but also kinda like Arthur's about to sell you life insurance in the Wild West.
The Millesani. For $83 and a quarter, you can pick it up in Strawberry. Yeah, apparently this town doesn't just sell jam. The first thing you notice is that heavy brown coat. It's got that double-breasted button style that screams, I'm important, but also allergic to soap. Underneath, Arthur's rocking a dark vest over a blue collared shirt. So yeah, this is the cowboy version of business casual. Like he's about to lead a cattle drive at 2 and then attend a board meeting at 3. The pants are plain dark blue, tucked into matching brown boots. Honestly, the whole bottom half of this outfit looks like Arthur just stepped straight out of a Sears catalog. And then we have the hat. Wide brim, tan, nice and sharp. It says, I'll tip this politely to the lady in town, then go wrestle a bear right after. Overall, the Millesani feels like the I'm trying to look respectable, but I'm still packing a revolver, the Faulkton. This one right here is called the Faulkton. It'll set you back $84.50 and you'll only find it in Strawberry, but you gotta be sitting pretty at honor rank 6 to wear it. So yeah, no robbing trains on the way there. First thing that jumps out, those mustard yellow pants. Like, who looked at Arthur and thought, yeah, let's give him legs that look like French's mustard bottles. Up top, you've got a gray coat, button sharp, with a dark vest underneath. Add in the high-collared shirt, and suddenly Arthur's giving off big substitute teacher who secretly carries a revolver vibes. Boots are plain brown, tall and sturdy, the kind you stomp through cow pies with. And then the hat, which I think ties the whole thing together, making Arthur look like he's halfway between landowner and outlaw. Overall, the Faulkton is just a little too fancy for someone who spends most of his time skinning deer in the mud. The Vaquero. This one costs $85.50, and you can snag it in Valentine, the town where half the fights start and none of them end pretty. The first thing that stands out here? That dark gray coat. It's buttoned down tight, like Arthur's trying to look respectable, but the mud on the sleeves tells a different story. Underneath, he's rocking a black shirt that blends in so well it almost looks like he forgot to wear one. Then we've got the brown pants. Simple, sturdy, and just a little too clean for someone who spends his days wrestling bandits and skinning elk. The boots? Straightforward. Brown leather, tough enough to stomp through cow dung. Or, you know, the Valentine saloon after closing time. And then the hat. Dark brown, wide-brimmed, tilted low. This is the piece that gives off pure outlaw energy. Like, I'll tip this to the lady on the porch, right before I shoot her husband in a duel. Overall, the Vaquero is slick, sharp, and makes Arthur look like he's halfway between hired gun and mysterious stranger. The Heartlands. It'll run you $86.50, and you'll find it in Rhodes, aka the town where everyone's secretly plotting to stab each other at Sunday brunch. Now, check out the fit. First thing that smacks you in the face is that green vest. It's shiny, it's buttoned up, and it makes Arthur look like he's about to audition for the role of discount riverboat gambler. Underneath, you've got a baby blue shirt. Neat, clean, but pretty much out of place. It's almost suspicious. Like, Arthur's trying way too hard to convince people he's respectable. The pants are plain brown, tucked into tall boots. Nothing flashy there. But together with the vest and shirt combo, it gives him this vibe of, I'll sell you land in the Heartlands, but it's definitely swamp water. The Drifter. This right here is the Drifter, and for $88.75, you can grab it in Tumbleweed, but only if you're sitting at honor rank 6. So yeah, you gotta be a saint in the streets before you can dress like a sinner. Now let's break it down. That green coat? Long, sharp, and absolutely giving man who sleeps in the desert but still owns a mirror energy. Underneath, there's a dark striped vest and a shirt that's barely trying. Like Arthur woke up, said, "Good enough," and then spent all his energy buttoning that fancy coat. And those pants? Mustard yellow again. Rockstar clearly has a thing for making Arthur look like he's sponsored by condiments. The interesting thing in this outfit is the boots. Brown, rugged, and covered in spurs like Arthur's trying to overcompensate. Seriously, these boots look like they could double as medieval torture devices. Top it off with a flat dark hat, Arthur's got full-on wandering outlaw vibes. The kind of look where NPCs would say, "Who's that stranger?" and then immediately regret asking. Overall, the drifter is sharp, mean, and expensive. Basically, the cowboy version of overdressing to pick up your mail. The drover. You'll find it at Wallace Station, but only if you're sitting on honor rank 6. So yeah, no causing chaos if you want this fancy cowboy drip. First thing that jumps out? That black coat. Sharp, fitted, and giving major funeral director by day, outlaw by night vibes. Underneath, Arthur's rocking a dark shirt that blends in so well it's basically stealth mode. The vest is kind of subtle, patterned, but still trying to whisper, "I'm richer than you." Now the pants are where things get spicy. Brown pinstripes, which basically make Arthur look like he just walked out of the Wild West courtroom. Like, he's about to sue Dutch for emotional damages. Boots are dark, sturdy, nothing flashy, perfect for stomping through mud or kicking in saloon doors. And finally, the hat. Low, black, and mean. The kind of hat that makes NPCs immediately cross the street when you ride into town. The Earl. This is the outfit you wear when you want to swindle someone out of their farm and still get invited to Sunday dinner. The most backstabby little town in the game, Rhodes, is selling this outfit for $92.25. The jacket, deep maroon, sharp cut, and buttoned just enough to say, "Yes, I do own land, and no, I don't pay my workers fairly." Underneath, Arthur's got a striped blue shirt, fancy enough that he could pass as a lawyer, but I think he will hate it being a lawyer. The pants are plain brown, nothing wild, tucked into tall boots that look ready for mud, blood, or both. And of course, the hat. A little, rounded, bowler-style cap. This thing makes Arthur look like he's auditioning for Peaky Blinders Wild West Edition. Overall, the Earl is smooth and classy on the surface, but the vibe is pure snake in a suit. The Clairmont.
I sell out of that pretty fast.
Now, if you want to break the law in broad daylight and still look professional, then you should buy this outfit. It'll set you back $92.75, and you can find it in Valentine. First off, check that coat. Brown, double-breasted, buttoned down like Arthur's trying to convince the world he's respectable. Underneath, there's a clean black vest paired with a white-collared shirt. The pants match the jacket, same brown tone, neat and tidy. Too tidy, actually. Like Rockstar forgot Arthur spends most of his life rolling in mud and blood. Boots are standard black. Tall, sturdy, ready to kick in any door that needs it. And the hat. Dark, wide-brimmed, tilted, low. It's the kind of hat that whispers, "I mean business," but the jacket says, "Business is probably shady." The Josiah. It'll set you back $94.25, and you can snag it in Blackwater. Because of course, the richest town on the map is peddling a vest that looks like it came from your grandpa's wallpaper. Let's start with that vest. Brown, diamond-patterned, buttoned up snug, and giving major carpet sample from 1899 energy. Arthur looks like he's about to sell snake oil, and then drink it himself. Underneath, he's rocking a dark gray shirt. Simple, practical, but paired with the vest, it screams, "I'm trying too hard." The pants are black, clean, and tucked into tall brown boots. Nothing flashy there, though the boots do say, "I've kicked my fair share of guys out of saloons." The hat is again sharp, black, and outlaw approved, thankfully grounding the outfit before it tips too far into fancy farmhand. And those gloves? Bright leather, standing out like Arthur accidentally looted them from a circus performer. Overall, the Josiah feels expensive but confused. It's half respectable, half ridiculous. Like, you can wear it if you couldn't decide if you can go to a poker table or a barn dance. The Leatherman.
Always flying off the shelves.
Brown leather, heavy, worn in. Basically, Arthur's wearing the cow instead of herding it. It's the kind of jacket that squeaks every time you move, like you're cosplaying as a saddle. Underneath, you've got a blue pinstripe vest over a light shirt. It's trying real hard to look classy, but with that coat on top, it's just cowboy accountant who moonlights as an outlaw. The pants are plain gray, tucked into boots that have more straps than sense. Seriously, these boots look like they were designed by someone who lost a bet. Gloves, gray, simple, but they just add to the vibe of Arthur looking like he's about to do some shady back alley deal. And then the hat, classic black, wide-brimmed, tilted low. Thank God for it, because without the hat, this outfit would just be a guy who smells like leather polish. Overall, the Leatherman is rugged and tough, but also kinda overpriced. Like $95 for an outfit that basically screams, I am the couch.
The Roscoe. This one costs a whopping $96.25, and you can only grab it at Wallace Station, but you'll need at least honor rank 3. Brown with pale stripes, buttoned up high, giving Arthur vibes like a major school teacher who just quit mid-lesson to go herd cattle. On top of that, you've got suspenders, because apparently Rockstar decided belts are a luxury item in this game. The pants are rugged brown, tucked into tall boots. They're solid, sure, but for nearly $100, I've seen better pants in the starter wardrobe. Gloves are dark and simple, adding to the whole working man aesthetic. And then the hat, a rounded bowler, straight out of Peaky Blinders in the prairie. It makes Arthur look less like an outlaw and more like he's about to sell you insurance you definitely don't need. Overall, the Roscoe is way overpriced, like almost $100 just to look like the manager of a very angry barn. The Chevalier. It'll cost you $98 flat, and you can find it in Rhodes, but only if you're rocking at least honor rank 3. So basically, you've got to play the Saint if you want to dress like a circus ringmaster. The obvious thing in this outfit is the yellow vest. Loud, shiny, and blinding enough to make Arthur look like he just robbed a canary. Seriously, this thing could double as a caution sign on the road. Over it, he's got a gray coat, sharp cut, double-breasted, like he's trying to distract you from the fact that he's glowing underneath. The pants, pinstriped, black, formal. Arthur's definitely cosplaying as a lawyer who moonlights as a horse thief. Boots are sturdy, polished, outlaw-ready, but they're working overtime to keep this look from turning into full-on comedy. Overall, the Chevalier is bold, flashy, and expensive. It's the outfit you wear when you want everyone to know 2 things. You've got money and zero shame. The tumbleweed. Price tag, $98.25. And yeah, you can only buy it in tumbleweed. Which is fitting, because this outfit basically looks like Arthur blended in with the dirt and called it fashion. The first thing that hits you is that coat. Bright mustard yellow, wide and loose. Like Rockstar straight up said, yeah, let's turn Arthur into a walking corncob. Underneath, you've got a black shirt and vest combo. Dark, sharp, and way too serious for the goofy coat on top. It's like his torso and jacket are having an argument about who he really is. The pants are plain black, tucked into boots that have clearly seen some rough rides. Nothing too flashy there, but they do their job. And then the hat. Dark brown, classic outlaw brim. At least that part keeps him looking tough, instead of like the mascot for a mustard brand. Overall, paying nearly $100 for an outfit that makes Arthur look like a condiment. That's Rockstar literally mocking us. The Donegal. It'll set you back $98.75, and of course, you'll find it in Blackwater, the one town where you can't even sneeze without someone charging you for it. First thing, that green coat. It's sharp, slim, and looks like Arthur's trying to pass himself off as a respectable businessman in a Western play. Underneath, he's rocking a striped shirt and vest combo. Dark, clean, buttoned up tight. The kind of combo that says, yes, I'll sell you land, but no, you can't afford it. Then we get to the pants. Plain gray, tucked into polished brown boots. They're tidy, sure, but they also look like Arthur's about to go help his uncle fix a fence. Gloves? Dark, fitted, making him look just a bit too professional. The hat is a rounded bowler, perched right on top. Once again, for nearly $100, it's basically Rockstar charging you premium money. So, you can look like a bank clerk. The Saint-Denis.
Assembled to the smallest detail. So all you have to do...
This right here is the Saint-Denis. It costs $98.75. And where else would you buy it but Saint-Denis? The city where everyone's pretending they're rich, and half of them smell like fish from the docks. First thing that grabs you? That red vest. Bright, shiny, and so loud it basically yells, yes, I am absolutely here to scam you. Arthur looks like he just got hired as the assistant maitre d' at a sketchy French restaurant. Underneath, he's rocking a striped white and blue shirt, buttoned all the way up like he's too scared to show chest hair. The pants are black, plain, and probably the only normal part of this entire look. Boots are dark gray, sharp, and clean enough to walk the Saint-Denis streets without catching cholera. And then the hat, another bowler, because apparently the city dress code is to look like a polite scam artist. Overall, with this outfit, I think you are going to be like the sleazy guy who sells fake gold watches on the corner. It's the kind of outfit that makes NPCs trust you with their money, which is exactly why they shouldn't. The McLaughlin.
What the hell? Damn it, move already.
$104.25 for this? Rockstar's laughing all the way to the bank. You can pick it up in Blackwater, but you'll need at least Honor Rank 3 to flex this level of overpriced drip. First thing that jumps out? That mint green vest. Buttoned up neatly, pastel-colored, and absolutely giving wedding guests who got lost on the way to the chapel. Over it, Arthur's rocking a navy coat with a brown collar. Sharp, sure, but paired with that vest, it looks like he's auditioning for Gangs of New York. The pants are dark pinstripes, clean, tucked into polished brown boots. These are the kind of pants you wear when you're about to swindle someone in a backroom poker game. The hat, another bowler. At this point, Arthur's less of an outlaw and more of a banker who just learned how to hold a revolver. Overall, the McLaughlin is neat, fancy, but still pricey. I mean, dropping over $100 just to look like you are about to sell fake railroad bonds? That's a hard sell, guys.
The Cumberland. This one's called the Cumberland, and for the low, low price of $105.25, you can scoop it up in strawberry, but only if you've got at least Honor Rank 3. Dark maroon, buttoned up, and giving major Rhodes politician. Underneath, Arthur's rocking a patterned dark vest and a light shirt. Together, they give him the vibe of someone who definitely says, "Trust me, partner," right before selling you land that doesn't exist. The pants, pinstriped again, because nothing says Western outlaw quite like borrowing your granddad's funeral trousers. The boots are tall, dark, and sturdy. At least, they look like they can actually survive Arthur's lifestyle, unlike the rest of this overpriced fashion show. Now, the hat is the one piece keeping this whole look from collapsing into full-on circus attire. Overall, the Cumberland is polished, pricey, and a little pretentious. More than $100 just to look like the town treasurer who's secretly embezzling funds? Yeah, that's peak rockstar comedy. The Corson. You can buy it in Saint-Denis, but only if you've got at least Honor Rank 3. Meanings, you have to be a good cowboy, just to get robbed legally by the tailor. Now, let's look at what nearly $106 buys you. First thing, this washed-out gray coat. It's loose, it's plain, and honestly looks like Arthur stole it off a scarecrow. Underneath, he's got a pale green vest and shirt combo, and I think it's giving vibes like straight-up assistant librarian. The pants, dark blue, simple, tucked into boots that look about as ordinary as it gets. Nothing here says luxury, nothing here says expensive. A hat is actually a flat cap straight out of Peaky Blinders Goes West. It doesn't scream outlaw, it screams, "Oi mate, fancy a pint?" Overall, for this outfit, you're paying top dollar to look like Arthur just clocked out from his shift at the Saint-Denis bakery.
The Cowpuncher.
That's all.
This masterpiece costs a brutal $107.75. You can grab it in tumbleweed, but only if you've got Honor Rank 3. So once again, Rockstar makes you play nice before shaking you down at the register. Now, what do you get for over $100? First up, that black vest with subtle stripes. Clean? Sure. Stylish? Kinda. Worth the price of a brand new horse? Absolutely not. Underneath is a plain dark shirt. It's giving strong blacksmith apprentice vibes. The pants are textured gray, tucked into black boots. Practical, rugged, but nothing about them tells that this was worth 2 weeks of in-game hunting money. And then the gloves. Tan leather, fingerless, like Arthur's about to lead a biker gang instead of a posse. Overall, the Cowpuncher look like Arthur's just clocked in at the ranch for minimum wage. The Bretagne.
Let me vote. Let me vote. Let me vote. I can say this.
This outfit can be found in Saint-Denis, the city where even the pigeons probably pay rent. So what do you actually get for Arthur's entire life savings? First, the coat. Dark purple, double-breasted, and looking suspiciously like he stole it off a Victorian funeral director. Underneath, Arthur's got a jet black shirt and vest combo. Sharp, sleek, and making him look like he's auditioning for Mafia Boss 1899 edition. The pants? Purple pinstripes, or we can say Joker cosplay. For $110, you too can look like you're about to rob a stagecoach, and then laugh maniacally about it. The boots are tall, brown, and practical, though they're working overtime to keep this circus from falling apart. With this dress, Arthur is less of an outlaw and more of a Saint-Denis banker who tells you, "Sorry, sir, your loan's been denied." It's the peak of Rockstar's fashion scam, dropping $110 just to look like Arthur Morgan joined the Gotham underworld.
The Valentine. This outfit costs around $113.25. You can only buy it in Valentine's, but you'll need at least honor rank 3. So yeah, be a good cowboy, do noble deeds, and then get fleeced by the tailor. Now, what does the most expensive outfit in the whole game give you? A gray coat. Just gray. Long, simple, nothing fancy. Underneath, a matching gray vest and shirt. So bland, it feels like Arthur's trying to disappear into the wallpaper at the saloon. The pants? Dark, rugged, and tucked into standard boots. Gloves? Gray. Because apparently, this tailor heard the word style and decided to do the exact opposite. And the hat? Black, wide-brimmed, outlaw approved. At least one part of the outfit screams danger, because the rest screams Arthur Morgan, accountant at law. Overall, the Valentine is the most boring outfit in RDR2. You're not paying for the style, you're paying for the privilege of saying, yeah, I spent $113 to look like Arthur's stuck in grayscale mode. The Deauville.
That is a local favorite.
Let me vote.
The ultimate wallet destroyer at a jaw-snapping $115 flat. And of course, you'll only find it in Saint-Denis, with the added requirement of honor rank 6. So yeah, you gotta play like an angel just so Rockstar can rob you blind at the tailor's counter. First thing, that top hat. Massive, shiny, and making Arthur look like he's about to pull a rabbit out of it instead of a revolver. The coat is dark, sharp, and actually kinda slick, but paired with the hat, it stops looking dangerous and starts looking like Arthur's running for mayor of Saint-Denis on a Free Beer Fridays campaign. Underneath, it's all black. Shirt, vest, trousers. Sleek, clean, and formal. Honestly, if Arthur rolled up in this outfit, I'd half expect him to ask me for a business card instead of my wallet. The gloves and boots are plain, simple, outlaw ready. But in this dress, your eyes never leave that ridiculous stovepipe hat. The Deauville is Rockstar's final joke on the players. $115 just so Arthur can cosplay as Abraham Lincoln.
The Dewberry Creek.
One of the most expensive outfits in the entire game, weighing in at a wallet-obliterating $115.50. You'll only find it in Valentine, and only if you're rocking honor rank 6, so you've got to play like a saint for hours, just to dress like a farmer who overdressed for church. First thing, that coat. Brown, buttoned, neat, and somehow managing to look both expensive and boring at the same time. Arthur straight up looks like he's running for the least exciting mayor in the West. Underneath, there's that blue and white checkered shirt. Arthur's basically one watermelon away from hosting the 4th of July. The pants? Brown, plain, tucked into boots that are sturdy, but look like they are bought on sale. Hat is classic brown, tilted, outlaw approved. And I think this is the only piece keeping Arthur from looking like a ranch hand headed to a pie contest. The Farrier.
See you in one of those sets.
This beauty is called the Farrier, and it'll cost you a criminal $118.25. You'll find it in Blackwater, but only if you've achieved honor rank 6. So yes, you must be a saint to pay sinner prices. First off, that vest. Mustard yellow. It's loud, it's bold, and it makes Arthur look like he's auditioning to be the world's angriest beekeeper. Over it, there's a clean black coat. Formal, sharp, double-breasted. Honestly, the coat's fine, but paired with that vest, Arthur's giving saloon bouncer turned insurance salesman vibes. The pants? Pinstriped, dark, and neat. Not bad, but for $118, I expect pinstripes made of actual gold thread. Boots? Black, polished, outlaw ready. At least these look solid. And then of course, the bowler hat. Again, at this point, Arthur's worn so many bowlers he might as well run a 19th century hat emporium.
The Gambler. The single most expensive outfit in the entire game, coming in at a wallet-destroying $123.25. You'll find this in Rhodes, but only if you've got honor rank 6. Coat. Dark checkered pattern. Sharp. Clean. Underneath, Arthur's rocking a bright red vest with gold buttons. Loud, bold, and screaming. I'm either winning the poker table or losing the ranch deed. It's the kind of vest that doesn't whisper confidence, it yells it across the saloon. The pants are plain black, paired with tall black boots. At least they're rugged enough to survive a bar brawl, because if you're wearing this, someone's definitely swinging on you.
The hat is a proper topper to balance out this casino-ready drip. Overall, the gambler is slick, sharp, and flashy, exactly what you'd expect at the top of Rockstar's scam ladder. But for $123, you're basically paying premium money just so Arthur can cosplay, deals you a losing hand in every backroom poker game.